So we all know by now that Valorant is not exactly a perfect game. It murders my soul.
He's coming! Hold on, He's behind you!
But every game has its bad aspects and bad things associated with it. I thought I would insert a little disclaimer at the start of this video. This is not meant to say that I think Valorant is a bad game overall. I am simply pointing out what are, in my opinion, the least fun aspects of every playable archetype. Which is possible for like any game. I mean, I could just Google, you know, best games of all time. And then I could just pick out like the... oh, never mind. The point is, don't take this too seriously. Don't get mad at me for pointing out obvious flaws just because you abuse them too much, etc. Only a small percentage of people who watch me are actually subscribed. Oh, I just noticed while looking for my watch time screenshots. All of you are men. So that's pretty... oh, adult men. Okay, nice. This is very comforting considering I am a child. Well, welcome back, my gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoy. Jett is really good, obviously, but I wouldn't say there's any super apparent broken things about her. She's just a really well-balanced, overpowered agent, if that makes any sense. All of her stuff is equally exhausting to deal with. The op-dash thing is kind of fucked though, so if I had to pick one... alright, I think I know my answer. Arguably, one of the most annoying things that can happen in the entire game is getting teamed with an inexperienced Phoenix who has about as much sensory awareness as a block of neodymium. I literally can't stand it when I get flashed by my own teammate and lose because of it. Ow. Sova is maybe the best designed agent in the game. He's very strong without having anything that stands out across him. I would want to say tone down everything just a little bit, except the shock darts. That move is fine as it is, I think. But for the sake of this, I think his ultimate is maybe the biggest flaw in Sova. Compared to his other three abilities, all of which scale in effectiveness with player ability, case in point. His ultimate is a lot more clumsy, and while it is complemented by the rest of his kit just because of the nature of the ability, I think it could be better made. But once again, I am grasping at straws here. On the complete opposite side of the spectrum, Raze is at best an average agent who has way too many brokenisms for it to be okay. Her abilities allow her to aggressively push, get kills, and especially get assists, because it's occasionally impossible to escape the grenades and the, what's it called? The Roomba bot? I think I forgot what it's called. This ability often makes for no fun on pistol rounds, and it allows Raze to deal way more damage than she should, using very little skill and fundamentals of the game. It's very fun to play as Raze, but not so much on the receiving end. The Sentinel role as a whole is a lot weaker than it should be, I've come to realize, but Sage still remains as one of the more balanced agents. Her abilities put into the wrong hands can cause a lot of, like, team sabotaging, specifically a lot of... Of course, incorrect or badly timed usage of Resurrection is on the player. It doesn't show a flaw with Sage, but it is very irritating being raised in front of a crowd of enemy players only to die immediately. I don't really know how this could be changed, maybe make Sage's ultimate a bit more indicative of what the move actually does. Obviously, there has to be some amount of startup time before the resurrected victim can move. Without that, the move would just be broken, but you know. I like how Yoru's voice lines and personality portray him as like the most obnoxious, arrogant prick, with the aura of an absolute alpha chad, but then as an agent he blows. Since he's often considered as the worst agent in the game, there's obviously things that are wrong with Yoru. It'd be cool if the teleport wasn't completely useless for his duelist role, but I think what really needs to be changed is... decoy. Wait, go over there.
How far does it go?
Oh, he's fooled. He's fooled already.
Oh! That got me good!
Yeah, for many people it takes the crown as the worst ability in the game, and it's pretty clear as to why. I don't think I've ever had or witnessed an effective use of decoy in my entire history of playing Valorant. The biggest thing that needs to be changed about Yoru is Yoru, but to remain consistent, I'm narrowing it down to this one ability. Right, so Chamber is still kind of new, so it's pretty difficult to think about his worst aspect right off the bat. I suppose having guns as abilities one way or another is sort of questionable in a game like this. On paper, it seems pretty broken, whereas in practice, it seems pretty broken, but a bit less. I feel like changes are going to start rolling in pretty fast, so no need to pin anything down for this one. Omen is pretty cool. Saying his voice lines are dark would be a massive understatement. He sort of reads like an introverted 8th grade edgelord who never snapped out of his nihilism phase. Then again, he is a literal ghost, but dialogue aside, Omen's pretty easy to use. The smokes, once you get the hang of them, the TPs, the ultimate, it's pretty straightforward. Then you have Paranoia, which is a blind that can go through walls. It's a nice move, but the range is way bigger than it appears at first. So oftentimes, Omen will just blind his entire team, which is suboptimal in most scenarios, believe it or not. Some say Omen fell out of the meta a little bit, and I am not the person to tell you if that's true or not, but for gameplay's sake, I think a range indicator for Paranoia would be a nice buff and a quality of life change. I mean, Breach has it for his stuff, so Omen should. Okay, thanks for watching. Be sure to like if you enjoyed, and subscribe as well.